It's a strange day in the world of Magic the Gathering because it looks like Jedit Ojanen is going to be in Streets of New Capenna, and I'm not quite sure how that's even possible.
Magic. I am a wizard! History. I'm an old wizard! The magic historian. My bones hurt.
Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. My friends, I hope the day finds you well because we have gathered to discuss an oddity, a mystery. How would Jedit Ojanen get into the streets of New Capenna, right? This is a very odd concept to me. So, to put all the dots together so you can connect them the same way that I have, let us talk about the new APAC promos. Let me put one up on the screen for you. Now, this is in Japanese, but what you're looking at is Jedit Ojanen. This is a creature who was originally printed all the way back in 1994 in my favorite Magic the Gathering set of all time, Legends. Now, Jedit Ojanen is a terrible card from a power perspective. In fact, let me put the original up on the screen to really drive it home for you. You are paying 2 white, 1 blue, and 4 for a 5/5 vanilla creature. Think about that for a moment. The only ability of this creature is flavor text, which is pretty sweet actually. It says, "Mightiest of the cat warriors, Jedit Ojanen forsook the forest of his tribe and took service with the Robaran mercenaries, rising through the ranks to lead them in the battle for Efrava." So, this is all we knew about Jedit when he first came out, and when Legends originally came out, there were no multicolored cards. This was the first set we ever got with them. So you may be wondering, why is this card so terrible? Well, these ones were designed around people's Dungeons and Dragons characters. The people who made this set of Legends literally put their own Dungeons and Dragons characters into the game of Magic the Gathering with varying results. Some of those Legends are intensely powerful, and some of them are incredibly weak, like Jedit overall. I mean, on one hand, yes, he is a massive, proud Tiger Warrior. And I will say, back in the day, people loved these Legends. Yes, they were kind of garbagey, but big creatures with no drawbacks were hard to come by. Finding big, meaty bodies in white-blue was also difficult to do without massive, really, really bad drawbacks. So, you had a beefy body, plus you had just this really cool character. He's legendary. There's only one of these in existence. This is the dude. This is Jedit, and he actually features in a number of Magic the Gathering novels as well, the old Legend storyline. Essentially, he's part of the downfall of the wizard Johann, right? So Jedit kind of forsakes his homeland, but ultimately ends up saving his homeland as part of this prophecy. But there are alternate variations of Jedit as well. He was actually given a time-shifted version in the Time Spiral block where we got to see what would happen if Jedit hadn't been tricked and taken away from his homeland, right? So, in this version, you get Jedit Ojanen of Efrava, and he is 3 green and 3 for a 5/5 legendary Cat Warrior Lord with Forest Walk, and whenever he attacks or blocks, put a 2/2 green Cat Warrior creature token with Forest Walk into play. How awesome is that? The flavor text says, "The Cat Warriors recognize this Jedit's face, but not his fierce loyalty to Efrava," right? Because the previous Jedit was more solitary and went out on his own. And this newer variation, or not newer variation, I should say, this alternate timeline variation is fiercely dedicated to his homeland. And you can see he becomes the lord over his own people and can rally catmen no matter what he's doing. Is he going on the attack? The Cat Warriors will follow. Is he defending the homeland? The Cat Warriors are with him. And we have one one other card that actually references Jedit as well. This is Jedit's Dragoons. Now, this is referencing the original Jedit. So, 1 white and 5 gets you a 2/5 vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life. And the flavor text says, after Afrava was destroyed, the cat warriors scattered across Dominaria. Those who followed Jedit's example were strong enough to survive the ravages of the apocalypse. All right, so the idea basically is the original Jedit left his homeland. He did try to save it, but ultimately it ends up getting destroyed. And only the strongest cat warriors that kind of follow in this lineage are able to survive out in the salt lands of Dominaria. Because in this time spiral block, right, what happened is the whole world is now these crazy kind of ravaged salt plains and everything like that. And there are crazy time rifts where you have these different beings coming through. So imagine these Dragoons one day actually encountering this different version of Jedit. So instead of the Jedit who abandoned them, they find this Jedit who's totally dedicated to their homeland. But alas, their homeland has already fallen in this timeline. So Jedit is a really cool character that's basically spawned from this original Legends version. So I'm going to leave the Legends version and the new version up on the screen together so you can appreciate them. I think they're both fantastic. Ultimately, I think this newer version of Jedit Ojanen looks even beefier, right? I mean, they both look super, super intense. But when you look at like the pose of this Jedit where he's crouched down like he's about to do this massive leap towards you, and look at how thick his legs are. They're just these massive muscled legs. And the question is, why is this the APAC promo for New Capenna? How does this specifically tie to New Capenna? And why would they choose a random old Legends from Legends to do this reprint for? Some of you may be a little confused going, hold on, I thought there was a reserved list or something that made it so they can't reprint this stuff. Well, that only applies to particular cards, and in most cases, that only applies to rares. Jedit here was actually a common, so they're free to reprint these common legends however they see fit. Unfortunately, most of these common legends are garbage. Now, Streets of New Capenna is supposed to be basically an angelic city. So you have a city of angels built in the angelic fashion, but it has fallen to demons. Demon mobsters specifically, as far as I understand. Now, take it with a grain of salt because we don't have all the information yet. But as far as I understand, New Capenna is going to be a maybe like 1920s to 1940s era style gangster mafia. Think like the old style like New York and stuff, right? Like Streets of New Capenna, Streets of New York. It's got that same kind of vibe. So we're going to have demonic mobsters. But where does Jedit fit into this, right? He's white-blue aligned, which admittedly is something very, very strange for a cat warrior to be. The white part in more recent days makes sense because we do have more white cat warriors in the game. It originally started out where they were pretty much distinctly only green, but white has been given the Leonin and other cats as we have gone along. So the white part of the color identity fits, but the blue part is very odd. A white-blue meaty bruiser is a strange concept. So are they bringing Jedit Ojanen back literally as an enforcer for a demonic mob on, like in New Capenna? Where is this set? How did Jedit get there? Why was he selected for the APAC promo? Like, there are a number of different APAC promos, and they all seem to tie in to whatever set they're associated with to like some degree or another. But this one really, really stood out to me. What would possess them to reprint essentially a vanilla legend and give it this artwork? Was it that they made an epic looking cat warrior and decided that they wanted to use this artwork and had it kicking around? But it feels when I look at it like Jedit though. So to me, I genuinely feel like they went ahead and did this. I think that this is a hint that we're going to see some characters brought in from different parts of the multiverse. That's my guess, right? Because Jedit, I don't think Jedit's anywhere near New Capenna, although maybe New Capenna is going to be set on the same world that Afavra was, but isn't that Dominaria? I don't know. I'm honestly getting a bit of this mixed up. It's really firing up my imagination. What would Jedit Ojanen be doing with a bunch of mobsters? He's admittedly like kind of a lone wolf, no, like a lone tiger, right? Like he's not really a let's clan up style guy. So I can see maybe being like, hey, you know what? I'm an independent enforcer for the mafia, but why would he be doing that? Ultimately, what does he like stand to gain from it? And what does this mean about the Capenna set as well? I don't know. I found this fascinating. I wanted to talk about it. There's other stuff I want to talk about, but this was the most fascinating. Anyhow, I have a bunch of Kamigawa set boosters we're going to be opening up over on my Hatcher channel this afternoon, and then I'm going to the pre-release tonight. So it's Super Kamigawa action today. I invite you, come on by to the Hatcher channel, join the live stream. We'll have some fun cracking the packs, and if you miss it, it'll still be up for you to watch afterwards. Thanks for coming by. Big shout out to all of my patrons. Links on the screen for some goodness, and I'll see you next time.